Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so getting out of that hotel room. I woke up this morning 3 in the morning, as I have been doing lately. Turned over, looked at my phone a little bit, prayed some more, went to sleep. Because of it, I woke up at like 8 something, still kind of sleepy. Ate some food, looked at my phone a little bit, it turned back around, went to sleep. Woke up again 11:30. This is that kind of morning. But I said, you know what, it's about noon. Let me get the heck out of here. It's not as hot as it's been. I think it's only supposed to get as hot as maybe 85 or something like that. And, it's one of those situations where honestly, I just felt like I needed to get out. There wasn't even anything really pressing that pushed me out of the house. I wasn't feeling particularly bad or nothing. Just wanted to move on from sitting in that room because I got all the sleep I wanted to get. And the funny thing was, it was like 11:30. I wake up out of that little sleep I was in, and it wasn't about 5 minutes before I told myself, all right, I already showered. Let me just get out the house. Let me just move on. And as soon as I did, the fan cut off. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? So what ended up happening was they were doing banging next to my door. I guess they're working on the unit next to me or something like that. They were banging not on the door, but on the wall while I was sleeping in my little 11 o'clock, 11:30 sleep. They were banging on the wall, so I'm guessing they're just messing around with the power. So what I had to do was, because it was on in certain places in the unit but off on others, the ones where it was off was the fan and the fridge. So I'm like, oh, no. So I checked and saw if there were other outlets that worked in the unit and moved the fridge over to the one that worked. Now what I'm hopeful they'll do while I'm gone is not turn off the ones that are off. You know what I mean? Turn on the ones that are off and then turn off the ones that are on at different points in the day, because I am leaving. But yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to move the fridge from one side of the unit to the next in order to assure that they didn't ruin my food, man, in my fridge. So I'm glad that I didn't leave sooner than I did. Wake up in this morning, maybe get out of there by 11, because if I would have did that, I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. So I don't know how long it's going to be since they're going to turn it off. I don't even know if they know it's off. I didn't tell them when I locked out of there either. I forgot to stop at the front desk. They were busy. They had like 4 or 5 people backed up. I wasn't going to sit there and, you know what I mean, basically tell them something that I expect they already know, it seems to me. But they didn't tell us that they were turning off the power. So it's one of them type of situations where when I get back, I'll make sure I let them know if it's still off that they need to turn it back on and go that route. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure that my fridge was plugged up to an outlet I know worked. Because if it, for some reason, ain't on when I get back, at least I know I tried. You know, if for some reason I didn't move that, it was a chance that all the food in there could go bad. And there's meat in there, frozen water in there. It's another thing that could create some issues, I guess. What else? Like lettuce and stuff like that. I don't want to go bad. Grapes, I just don't want to go bad. Potato salad, that kind of thing. So yeah, man, something bit me, as you guys can clearly see. Bit me here. That's just part of living in this unit. They got a fleet issue or something. I don't know what it is, but what they don't allow is for you to have pesticides delivered to the unit. For whatever reason, to this building, they don't, I guess because people are allergic to so many different things, I don't think they want you to put down like boric acid for roaches and stuff like that. Because when they put the pesticide down, I started seeing more pests. It's like, wait a minute, dude came in, sprayed. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing pests galore. That's what ended up happening. I guess they were rushing from other units into mine. I don't have roaches, you know. I don't bring roaches with me, and I know how to keep them away from my stuff. So it's one of those type of things where it's like, yeah, I don't appreciate that very much. What kind of pesticide got the roaches coming in? But that's kind of how it's going there, man. So that's how my morning's going. A lot of prayer, you know what I mean? Trying to overcome some of these same old things that I've been thinking about, but doing much better about it. You know what I mean? And just using prayer more so to get me through my day, man. Get me through my morning. Control my timing of when I leave the house, how I'm leaving the house. was all prayer, man. You know, had some I ain't gonna say confirmation, but some things happened last night where I was talking to God and I asked him a certain question about my mom and my dad. And as soon as the word yes was said, a light shined in my room. It was somebody outside turning on some type of card or something. Maybe they opened a car door or something so that it shined directly into my room from outside. But the timing is what was just par for the course as we talk about timing and things like that. And I was in deep prayer. I had been praying ever since I had woke up around 3 in the morning. I told y'all about that, of course, now. Woke up at like 3:30 or something, started praying. And when I posed that question, the answer was yes. And then the light shined on as the word yes came in. And it shined for a good 8 seconds. No light had shined in that room since I had been awake. That type of light had not shined in my room at all. You know, that kind of thing at night. You just don't see that. But in that moment, in that exact moment, that's when the light shined. And I'm just like, all right, God, I got you, fam. So, you know, I'm just moving in the spirit, man, trying to be as upbeat about my circumstances, trying to be as upbeat about everything that I've been dealing with and struggling with, man. And so far, it's just about prayer. It's about prayer, bro. Because everything else I got going on, my natural mind will tell me everything is bad, everything is going to be bad. And then that kind of thing, it's like, I don't care to believe that when I seen what God has been doing lately. I don't care to even go that route when he's been showing me as much as he's been showing me. You know, yesterday morning I woke up feeling down about the same old same, and I prayed it's about a good 2 hours straight, and then the Lord started working things out one by one to change not only my mind around but help me ease my mind with answers. And I was tripping off of that to a degree, because it's like I asked him to do that, but I saw zero path to that based on what it was that was going on. Zero path. I was like, I'm asking you to do something, and I think you're gonna have to move 3 or 4 things around to make that happen, and then I'm gonna have to feel better about what you move around. That's exactly what he did. By the end of the night, I was smiling and happy, and I'm telling y'all, I didn't see no path to that. No path to that. And so this is the type of faith that I'm rolling with, because he keeps on doing stuff like that. It's like, man, I honestly am rolling on faith right now, because I really don't know where I'm headed. But the Lord put it in my heart that, let's leave the house. I want you to see something, maybe nothing, maybe it's just for me to turn on the camera somewhere or something like that. But let's leave the house. And then as that energy came to me to leave the house, that's when the fan turned off. So it's like, if you don't leave the house, you're gonna be in there hot. So let's leave the house. It's like, whoa, that type of stuff is it's so prevalent right now. And I'm telling y'all, the one thing that I can honestly say is, a lot of what it is that I've been able to benefit from is not lusting, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And it's not something that you want to verbalize too much, but just to say that I haven't done anything since basically well before I left Linux. And that's the longest I've been without allowing that to be the case. You know what I mean? I know I'm a single man, but certain things, I didn't even think I could do that. I didn't even think that was something I could do. And I spoke to a friend who told me that they were doing that. They were stepping away. And they had stepped away for 130 days. And I was like, ain't no way in here. Like at that time when my friend told me that, I was on week 2. And I was like, bro, I ain't about to do all that. But the longer I go into that journey, the closer I feel to the spirit. That's what I'm telling y'all. The further I allow myself to stay away from that energy and not engage in any behaviors, the closer I feel like I can get to feeling these type of spiritual movements that kind of like gather itself to more or less compel me. And it was when I was engaging in that energy too much in the worst way for myself, when I couldn't hear God, when I couldn't feel that energy at all. Like that's the God's honest truth. So it's like there's some correlation for myself and maybe others from which I've heard, to where that is the case. There's something spiritual that comes with just abstaining fully. You know what I mean? Like, not doing the, and so that's what I'm here to tell y'all. Like, for me, this is by a long far, the longest I've been in that space. I didn't think it was possible. I thought I would be uncomfortable and that kind of thing. And that's just not the case. And what has come about is, yeah, sometimes you get tempted. You see certain things on your phone, whatever, you get tempted. But it's getting easier to say, all right, God, I'm not interested in that. I'm on a streak, so to speak. It's like a day streak to where it's like, nah, I got 44 days on it. Just like I was looking at my sketch a day streak. 44 days straight where I've posted some art on that thing. 44 days. And it's like, that's how I'm looking at it. It's like, I don't want to miss a day on what it is I'm doing here for nothing. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and realize I haven't posted. So I'll get back on there and post, and that counts. Fortunately enough, between 5 o'clock, 5 to 5 is basically their hours. 5 p.m., 5 p.m. So as long as you can post in between 5 p.m., it'll keep your streak going. And I haven't missed a day. Today's day 45. I hope to, get it right and make sure that I put more art on there. And the parallel is, I want to keep this going too. Unless I get to a point where I'm with somebody, you know what I mean? Or unless I got a woman that I really care for, and you know what I mean? Or the Lord gives me some idea that this is something He wants me to do, which I don't see coming. He ain't gonna tell me to do nothing like that. I want to see how far I can go without acting a fool, honestly. And I find myself, it's easy. And see, this is another thing. When you do too much of that, it affects how you look at others, what you want from others. I can't speak for nobody else. I don't know if this is how it is for you guys, but when you get too much where you feel like you need that and you don't know that you don't need that, it's gonna be a situation where it's gonna affect who you choose in your life, how you go about your day, how you go about your night. It just affects it in a way that sometimes, like if you're watching too much nonsense, it'll have you looking differently at people. Like it's in the daytime, your eyes automatically go to the women's chest, like that's what I've learned. And it's like, that's what has not been happening at all in my life as of late. I don't know if I want to keep walking down there or not. I want to catch this bus, but I don't know how far it's going to go. I'll wait it out, but it's one of them situations where it's like, that's what I found affecting me, in a negative way. It's like, I couldn't even halfway focus a lot of times, especially in my early 20s, not as much as a grown man, but in my early 20s, when I was out of control, didn't know that there was any such thing as, not basically, man, it would affect everything. I couldn't even halfway hang around women sometimes without looking in directions that automatically you go to when you watch too much of that. I walk one block because I really don't have no destination, so it ain't gonna hurt for me to walk. But I do want to catch a bus. At the end of the day, I'm telling y'all that it affects me in negative ways when I let it get out of hand. And as I've gotten into this space right here where I'm trying not to piss God off because He's been proving Himself to me, like literally proving Himself to me, not just in the same way where, my mama told me to believe in God and you go to church and you know what I mean, maybe once in a while you see the Lord work when you're going through hard times. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about every 3 hours is some timing stuff, and He's proving that He's very much in my life right now. So it's like it makes me feel the strength and the desire and the benefit of doing things like this to stay close to Him. And as I find myself in that space, I realize that I get closer and closer to Him. Times get harder and harder, and I get stronger and stronger. Circumstances affect me in ways that they used to in terms of sadness and heartbreak or whatever. People letting me down or however I look at it, and I'm turning to God more. I'm waking up in the spirit. I feel comfortable in the spirit. I feel stronger in every aspect thus far, and I need that strength. And it's a different thing than what I was telling y'all about in regards to the prayer list. Like the prayer list was about strengthening me to understand that things were not about me and that I didn't have to take on all of the sadness that came with my life, because there were other things that I needed to be paying attention to, people that I need to be rooting for that could also give me something to be happy about when I see their lives going right, even though mine wasn't. So it became a situation where that's what that benefited. But this is something entirely different. This is an entirely different avenue in regards to that. This is more about self-discipline and connecting to God by way of that self-discipline, and then allowing that self-discipline to carry you toward new heights spiritually that help you make better decisions, help you handle what I call spiritual attacks. Like I was telling y'all, my friend had disappeared on me and she wasn't, reaching back to me when I'd reach out. That type of stuff was really hurting me, like made me sad, even though I knew I deserved it because I'd done it to others for so long. It helped me absorb that not only am I deserving, but that I can overcome it. And I can still give her good energy and not resent her because I didn't have the right to. And then what it also helped me do is then further understand how selfish I was being in that same vein I was talking about. It's like, yo, you're taking on all the brunt of what it is that is pain to you because you're not being unselfish enough with her. I wasn't being as much as to say, I only feel happy when you're giving me what I want from you. Even though it wasn't in a sexual nature, it was intention, it was consistency that I wanted. And it's like, maybe that's not what she wants from you. Maybe she's tired of doing that with you. Maybe you said something that you don't know you said, or whatever the case may be. Though I don't believe I did. The point is, she has a right to move away from you if she don't want to deal with you. And that's what this has helped me do as well, because now I'm not looking at her in any way saying, okay, well, she's not giving me this, I'm not going to ever see her, and because I need that sexual attention, I need to walk away from her. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not there like that, because I'm on my own staying away from that entirely. So I can look at her and say, okay, how can I strengthen the friendship? How can I give her what she needs? She's not coming around. She is doing what she needs to do to heal. And in doing so, it's allowing her to basically push me away, which is fine, because I'm just another human being in her life. Just because I look at her a certain way doesn't mean she has to look at me the same way, especially as it pertains to what she's dealing with personally. There are a lot of people who looked at me a certain way. I didn't look at them that way. How do I absorb that truth without being so self-centered and so in need of what it is that they give or are not giving, that I'm thinking that the friendship needs to go out of whack, and not looking at myself and seeing myself as the selfish individual who's not doing nothing to benefit that friendship. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm starting to understand. It's like, yo, it's my selfishness and my neediness, so to speak, that puts me in a position that I need something from somebody instead of saying, yo, am I giving them what they need? Am I making sure that I'm doing what they need for me? If I'm gonna be their friend, do I love them for them, or do I love them for my convenience? You know what I mean? And it's like, that's what it was for me. It's like, the Lord helped me understand yesterday that all of my frustration and sadness and all this bullcrap, and though I was doing a good job of keeping it from her, I wasn't doing a good job of keeping it from me. I wasn't bringing that energy to her. I would, vent into her IG and then erase it so that she never saw it. But it probably was still bleeding through, and that's probably why she wanted to step away, because she was sensing it probably. Because it was there. But it wasn't there because she had done anything wrong. It was there because I was still selfish. Still looking at, okay, what can you do for me? Even though I didn't think I was. God helped me understand I was. Like, why aren't you coming here for me? I'm having a hard time, and because I'm having a hard time, I want to help you through your hard time. But that's what I want. That ain't what she wants. She wants space to find who she is so she can be happier in the presence of the people that she cares about. If she can't find that within herself, and she ain't being herself for whatever reason or two, then for her, she needs to walk away. She needs to find that light in her life once again so that she can share it with me. And that's what her circumstance is. And so it's like, we need different things. But I need to understand that what I need, I don't need. That's just another version of the enemy having a bridge, so to speak, to attack me. As I was telling you, we got to burn these bridges that the enemy often uses to try to get to us. That's one of them. Selfishness, a need for sexual attention, a need for physical nature from somebody else, and the notion that you can get there by way of communication. And if you don't see a path to that, then you want to walk away from those people. That's not what I'm trying to be about. It's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with her in that way, but it's like, if I keep talking to her, we keep on getting connected, eventually she's gonna start coming around, it's like, nah, that's the wrong approach. If you truly are connected to somebody, and you want them to be happy within themselves, not happy for you so that you can get what you want later on, investing in them as if it's gonna be a return on investment. And while I didn't see that, it helped me understand that that's exactly what it was to a degree. To a degree. And so it's like, yo, that's what stepping away from sexual energy did for me. It helped me understand just the selfishness that comes with believing that you need it and then investing in others to receive it without actually being conscious of it. And of course, I wanted more than sexual attention from this girl. It's like, nah, that's not the only thing. I really care about her. I want to be a friend of ours. But at the end of the day, it's like, because that would be a need, it's the decision-making motivation. I heard somebody say, you know, if you're going to fly a girl out and she ain't going to put out, then she ain't worth being flying out. If that's what you're after and you feel you need that, cool. But what you can also find yourself doing is finding people that you're bringing to you that don't want nothing more from you than to take your money. Because you have a need and you found someone who also has a need. And although those are separate needs, you still are selfish beings connected by way of what it is that you refuse to not separate yourself from. And that's something I wanted to understand before I get enough money to be able to do that type of thing. This is the stuff that on this level, the Lord has allowed me to understand in wisdom. So I'm not welcoming the wrong things. These are the type of things that get people caught up with the wrong person in life. I need this. So therefore, if she gonna do this, then it's cool. But if she doesn't do this, then we probably don't have nothing to talk about. Well, you're gonna bring somebody to you that has that same mentality. You're gonna bring somebody to you that has those same needs in a different way. And you're gonna feel used. No different than they gonna feel used by you. So why in your energy of being used do you not feel you deserve to be used? So it's like, nah, that's not what I'm trying to do. Now, one of the things that my friend told me is that I'm a good mentor to her. She said, you're a great mentor. I'm an older guy in her life. So a lot of the energy that she may be engaging in, not to say she's like this because she's not, but a lot of the stuff that she's doing, I don't expect for her to do when she gets to my age. So why would I not look to grow while on this level so that I can give her something that isn't just surface level stuff? And so I'm glad the Lord has done this because he's helped me understand just how selfish I am. And as a result of me understanding this concept, he's helping me understand that there's been plenty that she's done and maybe others have done that gives me a reason to be appreciative of their energy without all of this. My friends, you know, friends and family and people that you love, if they having a down era in their life where they don't feel like talking to you, it's incumbent upon you somehow to remember the good that they've already proven. And that's what the Lord did for me. As I was telling you, he had to move a couple things around for me in order for me to feel good yesterday. That was one of them. He reminded me of all that my friend had already done that I should be happy and pleased and appreciative of, and to root for her happiness, even if it means I'm not a part of it. Even if it means I'm not going to be treated that good over the next couple months as I define good. And what is that definition based upon? That definition is based upon needs, selfish needs that I don't actually need if I'm looking at it the way that I'm hoping to grow too. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, that's just a backwards way of looking. That's an immature way of looking at it. You're not being treated wrong. You're not rooting for her success in the right way. And because you are looking at it that way, naturally, of course you're going to think you're being treated wrong. Of course you don't think she ain't giving you what you need. It's not what you need. You need to understand that this is somebody who needs other things, and she's already done enough to make you root for her to receive those things. And in the event she doesn't get those things, if she gives you what she has for you, she ain't going to be truly happy. You want her to be unhappy at the expense of your own happiness? If so, then you better be ready for the same type of energy coming your way in a different way, on a different day. I don't want that. I don't want people to root for me whether they're getting from me what they need from me or not. Because if they are, then I'm going to be definitely willing to give them what it is that they can get from me out of the love in my heart for the support they've shown me. And that's what real friendship is about, in my opinion. It's a support, man. It's not about give and take. It's not a transaction. Not if it's true. You call yourself soulmates with somebody, then you need to let them grow with or without you, so that when they reconvene with you, they can be their best selves and y'all can continue that friendship. If not, they're just going to be a broken version of them in your life. And what does that do for you? Maybe a lot if your needs are transaction based. And so that's what stepping away from that type of energy, sexual energy, has done for me. It's given me a whole new universe of understanding my own selfishness, self-centered nature, and how I wasn't treating my friend properly based on me having contingencies about what it is that I receive, determining my happiness in the friendship, which is by default what we learn in this society. We learn this. This is what it's taught. Give and take. If you ain't gonna do for me, I ain't doing for you. But that ain't love. You gotta unlearn that nonsense so that we don't push away good people, so that we don't reinforce this and then receive it in some different way that doesn't help you when you need it the most. So that's what I learned. That's why the Lord was helping me, because he helped me understand my own evil and my own selfishness, and why I was so sad about her not being around is because she wasn't treating me the way that I felt I needed when I didn't need that at all. What I needed was to turn to God so he can teach me this. And that's what prayer did. It's like when you turn to God, it ain't just, oh, turn to God, that's it. No, he's going to open up new understandings in your mind to help you become better for those people and for yourself. And if for some reason he tells you that this person ain't for you in any way, then you can stop barking up that tree. You don't even have to invest in them in any way, because you ain't getting nothing from them. But that's what turning to God is about. It's about the wisdom that comes from meditating on such things. And then from there, knowing what your role is. What is my role right now in regards to my friend Karen? To let her enjoy her vacation. My natural inclination is to overspeak in her inbox, which is over-speaking. It's over-flooding. You can send a little something, leave it alone, but let her enjoy her vacation so she's not sitting there looking at her phone all day long at something you have to say, or betraying your need by not doing so, which will then put her in a position to look around, enjoy what she's doing, enjoy the people with her, experience the things that she's in this life to experience on this trip, for which she may or may not ever come back to again. I don't want her sitting there looking at her phone, feeding my need for attention. I may want that in my natural mind, but not in my prayer mind. No. I wanted to see a few lines that get her up in the morning feeling good about what it is she's doing for the betterment of herself, and then I want her to live her life. And I want to get in my own head and live with that. And so that's what this is about. It's exactly what it's about. Instead of looking online, seeing what she's doing, checking and seeing her, stalking her stories and all kinds of stupid stuff that don't have nothing to do with her healing, man. Nothing to do with me investing in the friendship for real. It's just maturity. Maturity, fam. If I'm gonna be that mentor, so to speak, or if I'm gonna be some version of a mentor that can turn into something greater, then it has to be something greater attached to what it is I'm doing. It can't just be about what I want and me getting what I want and that's it. Can't be that. Can't be that. Because all you're doing is reinforcing that you are selfish, that she isn't really in a space that's meant for her when she's around you. And how you gonna get what you then need from there? Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'm hopeful that a lot of y'all already understand this concept. And maybe I'm just the last one to figure it out. I'm hopeful. And most people aren't as selfish as I found myself to be in this way. But I'm happy the Lord is helping me see it. I'm happy that I'm getting to a space where I do. So that I don't continue to do this in any way. So I don't continue to welcome the deserving of that energy to come my way. Because that's what it does. It ends up welcoming that energy to you. I'm about to walk around all this. You don't even want to know what that is. You don't even want to know what I'm looking at. I'm not going to show you, but it's bad and I'm walking around it. God, that is awful. They got to come clean that up right away, man. But anyway, yeah. So that's the wisdom the Lord has given me to share with all of us, including myself, so that I can reinforce that next time I start having these urges that are needy in nature. I'm a believer that what goes around comes around, so you have to use that concept in these type of conversations too. If that's what you do, it will come back to you on a different day in a different way. I don't want it. I need people to invest in me without benefit to themselves when it's needed. I need people to believe in me for what I had already shown in goodness on days when I may not have it like that. Because there have been days when I didn't have it like that, and I don't know what's coming back. Storms are always coming. That's what the lady said yesterday on my Bible study. Storms are always coming. You can count on that. They always coming. So what are you going to do to make sure that you have things put in place so that the storm doesn't come back so hard on you when it does fall? These are the type of things. You work on your selfishness in regards to the people in your life right now. And if I'm pulling her away from those people in any way that she's around so that she can enjoy her vacation, then what the hell am I really doing? But being yet another way of the devil can be used in her life. Just like I said, her absence is being used in mine. This is chess, not checkers. And how do you overcome what the devil's doing? Well, work on yourself, first of all. Don't look for the Lord to work on others as a means of making you feel better about what they're doing. Feel better about what they're doing by way of turning to the Lord and asking him to change you for the better. And I'm telling you, every confirmation that came to me told me that I got the right idea about my friend. She's just in a bad time right now. And ain't gonna, just like she told me, it's exactly what she told me, is exactly what I meditated on and got confirmation on. It ain't deeper than that. She needs to find her light again. She needs to find her light in her eyes again, just like my mother said about myself when I was 2 years old and some bad things happened. The light was extinguished from my eyes. That's what I see in my friend when I look at her old stories and then I look at where she's at right now. It's like the light was just... That's like, nah, she gotta find that again. And maybe she can find that again on this vacation. But she's definitely not gonna find it again if I'm sad over what it is that she needs to do in order to find it. All I'm doing is being one more thing she has to consider that ain't positive, that ain't providing that light. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. It's a lot of stuff, man, that comes with this. It takes a whole lot of meditation to really understand where you're the problem. Even if what they're doing could be, even if you feel they could be doing you better. There's been times, and I told her, I'm like, I think I could be treated better here. In the presence of all of that, it's okay to say that. But you can define what your threshold is. You don't let nobody walk all over you. You don't let nobody treat you bad. You don't let them think that what they're doing when they're discarding of you is the right thing for you. You don't do that. But what you don't do is allow yourself to think you need more from people than what they can give you. She may not be able to give you nothing else. That may be all she has. And that she give you that should be something that you appreciate, at least as a bit of a leaf and a branch in regards to offering an olive branch, so to speak, is what I'm saying. At least an olive branch. Because I'm giving so much and it may be overwhelming. And what I'm giving may not be unselfish. And that's what I came to understand. So I just want people to understand that from within me. When I say I'm trying to be better for my friend, I'm trying to be better for myself. So I'm not allowing the enemy to cross over these bridges of selfishness and make me a worse human being. Make me a worse human being, Cross over those bridges that I should have burned a long time ago within my own selfishness and say, nah, you ain't gonna even be able to hurt me that way. Why? Because I'm looking at it the right way. Because I'm not looking at it from a transactional standpoint of saying, what have you done for me? Or can I build a bridge to her that can get me to sex someday or something? Whatever the hell we doing in life selfishly. Nah. I might have been taught how to do that by way of my society and the ways that we are expected to behave based on what we're taught and all this nonsense. But I'm gonna unlearn that. Why? Because it's possible. If God don't like something that you do, even if the whole world is teaching you to do it, if you go into yourself long enough, meditating on what it is that makes him happy, he gonna teach you how to step away from that culture. That's what I'm also learning. But if you don't have no notion of what God is about in that way, then it's gonna be easy for you to fall in line with everybody else and what they say, what they do, what comes naturally to them. Applications of sin to be applied all day long throughout our culture in this country. Applications of what is right in regards to politics that discard of human beings and the goodness and the innocence, leaving to be unprotected and uncultivated. Culture teach you how to choose sides in regards to something like the Israel-Palestine conflict. You could choose sides by way of culture. They're going to tell you which side you could choose. America's going with Israel. Every NBA team, a lot of my favorite celebrities, they choosing sides. They going with Israel. That's what America's doing. We going with Israel. I ain't going with no side, fam. I don't even know what the hell that is. You ain't like y'all sitting up here educating them people on what the hell is going on. You just gonna tell us what side to choose, no different than they do with these damn politics. People in this area, we go with this. People in that area, we go with that. No, we don't. I go with God, and God tells me exactly what to do. And in regards to that, as I told y'all last night, I ain't picking no sides on that. It's hurtful that I do. To a lot of people, it's hurtful that I do. Why the hell am I gonna pick a side when the people are telling me that it's best I don't? The people. You keep your ear to the streets, you never lose. Just like Nas said, when I keep my ear to the streets, the best thing I've ever heard in regards to that is to not pick sides and root for innocence. To be cultivated on both sides and people to live their lives without bombs bursting in air over whatever the conflict would be. Why shouldn't that be the side I choose? It's good and innocence on both sides. Why can't I compartmentalize what my thought is and take the good from each side and bring them to the side I'm on? You ever thought of that? Because that's the only thing God really wants me to do. I don't know what he's telling y'all, if y'all praying about this at all, but that's all he's telling me to do. See children over there, see children over there. That's the side you on. Bring them both to your mindset and want for what's best for them. And let the warriors be the warriors. Let the terrorists be the terrorists. Let the side choosers be the side choosers. Let the politicians be the politicians. They all go on the other side. That's what we supposed to do. I know this, because I talked to God about it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to tell me now. I ain't looking around a human being. What side should I choose in this situation? None. Use your brain to understand what is right, and you focus on praying for what is righteous, not to the understanding of the lies that are being told in regards to the conflict, but what it is that you basically understand, which is that there are children over there dying on both sides, man. They're the ones that need your support. They can all leave those various countries, come to your country or Canada or whoever let them in, and then that's the side. There's a side right there. And so that's what I'm on, man. I'm not waiting for human beings to confuse me about what God wants. I'm going directly to him. He's telling me what he wants in regards to myself. He's telling me what he wants in regards to these various different things like that. Truths that I know I'll never receive based on liars that are going to lie regardless about these circumstances. I ain't going to listen to them. Listen to God. God going to tell me what right or wrong is. He going to show me what I should be rooting for by the compassion in my heart off rip. You can look at an animal and see what compassion is. You need to look at a fellow human for that. Compassion. And where compassion is lacking is where you need not be if you're trying to keep God happy. Truthfully. You gotta think for yourself. And we gotta know of the notion of those who are trying to keep us from teaching others to think for themselves. This has been going on for as long as life has been going. There's always gonna be some people trying to suppress conversations like this. So, with that understanding, you know that it holds some value, or otherwise they wouldn't be attacking it. No different than what I keep telling y'all about AMC. If the fraudsters are going to keep telling me that what I have is useless and that I'm an idiot for holding it, the value to them that I do not hold it is evident in them doing so. I don't need to look around. Nah, they are showing me what the value is for me dropping these things. Which means they're showing me the value of what it is to hold them as well. I don't need to go for the left or to the right. Who's going to do what? I don't need to listen to you or them. Nah, no. Because if I'm going into my mind in regards to meditating on the conversation, God gonna let me know. And it has let me know. And so that's why I'm walking down this street comfortably telling you all this, because I know that the Lord compelled me to leave a house. Didn't tell me where I was going, didn't tell me what would come out of my mouth, but because I trust him on all of these different things that I've been praying about, I can trust him on this too. I don't have to follow you. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We're followers without the presence of compassion and prayer. Followers without the presence of compassion first. Okay, I'm going to go with my team. But your team is only picking a side in a various conversation. Not necessarily the one we just mentioned, but any conversation. if you're not on the side of righteousness, as it pertains to your understanding of righteousness, which varies from person to person, which is also why I don't be looking to the left and the right. Nah, I trust the animals more so when it comes to that, as I've already said. There's a lot of people tell you this is evil, and then they'll leave innocent people to burn in regards to what it is they're celebrating. They don't know. They're as lost as you were before you came to the conclusion that you're about to when you pray about it. And praying one thing, you don't just pray once and that's it. That's the thing. We got to work that into our equation. We got to work these various different things that bring the bridges of God to us. Let him build bridges that can get to us, just like we need to burn the bridges that the enemy brings to us. And this is how you pray more than once. You don't just sit up here and say, okay, I've prayed today. You need to pray some more. I prayed last week. I don't need to pray no more. You pray some more. Because the enemy's going to continue to walk across them damn bridges if you're not burning them. That's how it goes. If you ain't praying to God, believe me, the enemy going to be influencing you all day long. It ain't prayer, but it might as well be. He's attacking you in that same space, communicating with you in that same way. Only it's going to be dressed up a certain way so you can receive it better. God is going to require you to actually go toward him. The enemy, he going to come to you for sure. He going to bring the whole culture to you. He been trying to mold the world for as long as it's been spinning so that people be confused about what it is that really is sinning. And we got to unlearn certain things. And how do you do that? Meditation, prayer, going to God continuously. Not just using it one time, but doing it all the time. I brush my teeth twice a day. I shower twice or 3 times a day, depending on how hot it is or what I got going on. I ain't going to shower one time and that's it. I've showered today. Okay, and you're going to get in the bed nasty. Get in the shower again. If for no other reason than you were afforded the opportunity to do so and others are not. Ain't that the same thing they say about voting? Like, we're supposed to vote. Why? Because some people died for us to vote. Yeah, but I don't know who the hell I'm voting for. I don't even know what's the sides. What'd you vote? Okay, well, apply that same logic to prayer. Apply that same logic to brushing your teeth and showering every day. Because those things are actually going to benefit you. Your vote might not even count. They don't want to tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you that. Because it doesn't benefit them to tell you that. Just like it ain't going to benefit them to tell you don't pick a side in regards to that conflict. No, pick a side, vote, and we're going to throw your votes in whatever direction we want it to and push in whoever we want any damn way. That's what they do. So, like, that's where I'm at with it, man. I meditate on things, and I'm looking to continue to grow to do so. And these difficulties that I've gone through has shown me that God works in that way. That he will work in my favor, that he's rooting for me so long as I'm rooting for him. And in rooting for him, I got to communicate with him just as much as I want to cultivate my friend Karen. That friendship. I can't just turn to her all day long. Hey, K, what's up, K? What's up, K? Nah. She got her own walk to find God in. And if she's not finding that walk, then guess what's going to be finding you when you go find her? Sin. Now, if I go to her with God, then I can give her something. Instead of looking to take or transact or whatever. See how it all aligns? Starts with your intentions. Compassion, and then to look toward the divine. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching.